Everyone, Buffy Johnson with Pampered Chef coming to you live from my kitchen. I was asked to show you guys how do I organize my refrigerator, okay? First of all, I want to tell you something. Whatever works for you, do that. Okay, there's no magic or anything, but I'm going to explain some the reasons why I've chosen to do a few things to you so that it makes sense to you and you can apply that in your own kitchens for what works for you, okay? So here we go. Let me flip our switch here. All right, this is my fridge. By the way, I'm pretty proud of my fridge because guess what? We've only had it since like maybe early July, mid-July, something like that. So I'm going to walk you through the doors and everything so you can kind of see. And that's kind of why it's not funky yet because it's really new. I do try to keep my fridge clean. I can't stand, like when it comes to food, I'm pretty like tidy about stuff like that. So your basics, cream cheese, butter. I take my butter, I use a lot of butter, and so I actually open up the boxes they come in, 4-packs that I get, and I actually just have them here and just can grab a stick out like that. Let's see here. I've got some condiments in the fridge that fit there. Apple juice, grape juice. A lot of people do put their milk here. It's recommended that you don't store your milk in the fridge door if you can avoid it. You want it to be actually where it's a little colder in the back of the fridge. It will last longer that way. So again, condiments. Yes, we do a lot of barbecue sauce. Y'all getting all up in my business because that's my business. That's good. So chocolate sauce, right? Jacob, his thing. So again, condiments, all this fun stuff. My daughter is a Dr. Pepper fan. She can have 1 can a day. I do have a little thing up here. It's a tiny little thing, jam. I often have homemade peanut butter there. But in the top of my fridge here, I like to lay things flat because I want to be able to look in and see everything at a glance. I don't want hidden things because hidden things are things that you end up forgetting you have and you toss. So I know back here I do have one thing that's hidden, and that's just some chicken stock, okay? But these are my stocks that I use for one for smoothies and different things. But as you can see, we do a lot of yogurt, So between smoothies and such, sour cream, I make a lot of sauces with sour cream. And yes, lots of eggs. I have them down here. This is one of those shelves that moves back and forth, but in there, I have bread, tortillas, pancakes, leftover pancakes that I keep. My condiments are up here. This is, I've got a honey butter, a homemade honey butter here. This one is like an onion aioli that I made for some burgers the other night. But as you can see everything out here. And then down here is where I have my containers. Right here is kind of significant. Do you hear my fridge beeping at me? Because it's too computer. It's telling me that the doors are open too long. So I have my cheese and my meats in here. Got some brats thawing that we just got. This is kind of a significant thing I will show you that I do. I do my mozzarella. All my cheeses I grate up in advance depending on what tool I'm using. This one was actually grated. Siri did this one, but it's dated 10/9. If it gets to be about a week old and we haven't used it, which of course we will, but this is by the blue tab at the top. That is a freezer Ziploc bag. You always want to keep the air rolled out of your food. Air is the enemy of food. So I roll those tight and put them down there. And then what happens is if for some reason I end up, I'm gonna look at you when I'm talking to you. If for some reason I end up not using all that cheese up, it's already in a container that I can put in the freezer. So then I can pull it out and use it later in a hot dish or something like that. So again, waste not, want not. Let me show you right here some meats and stuff. So I have leftovers. This is just a leftover roast. I always cook up my spaghetti noodles ahead because like my girls love spaghetti, so I do that. And then like I have some veggies and stuff in here. This right here, you wonder why I keep this? Okay, for 2 reasons. Number one, if this was in my freezer, it's because I'm saving it. I always have a bag that is called my garbage bag, and it's like, this is like the stalks from the broccoli, as you can see. I make my own I make my own veggie stock with that. Later in the week, whenever I have a second, I'll just boil a pot of water. Whatever's in this bag, I'll just throw it in there and then turn it off. And then like once it comes to boil, I'll turn it off. And then whether it's carrot peels, it can be garlic, it can be like onion, it can be mushroom, maybe whatever you like. You just whatever leftover veggie chunks you have. There's still nutrition in this. And when you boil it into the water, and then of course you strain it off and you just save it in a mason jar or pitcher or whatever container you have. And then you don't have to buy that veggie stock that is, by the way, I'm going to get on my high horse, that's full of garbage because most of the time it has so much sodium, chemicals, additives, and you already bought the broccoli. You might as well use it, okay? Instead of spending more money on that. All right, so here we go. So I'm gonna go back over here. I usually try to keep like at least 1 or 2 like lettuce mixes on hand, like salad mixes, that if I get in a hurry, I can pop together some chicken or something fun on top of that. So this is it. And then I do have leftovers here. Oh, this is my veggie tray. I'm kind of famous for this. I will show you this. I wanted to show you guys these containers because I just currently don't have leftovers right now to put in there, because we had a holiday. This I always keep in here. It's always loaded and dangerous. I usually have in these containers is what I usually have backups of this. During the weekend usually, I will slice and dice and cut and chop and everything and have it all set and ready, literally with ranch. So when it's time for supper, I will put the spaghetti on the table and then pull this out, and then dinner's ready. I don't have to make another side, and we're eating fresh veggies that we like. Again, that was just meat I have thought for tonight. This is the spaghetti sauce that's made up in advance, and then of course on top of that, I love the square containers because I don't have any wasted space in my fridge. I really like that about them, and so they tend to fit. Those eggs will be gone before the end of the day, probably. So, but I was going to show you these real quick. Okay, this right here, I love this, because this is what the insides of the Cool and Serves look like. They're all dishwasher safe, and then you have this insert that you put in the freezer or fridge, but if you put it in the freezer, it will actually freeze hard, so it's like ice, and you can keep your food in here nice and cool for a very long time. So I tend to just have mine full of backups for my platter, which I don't have because I didn't have my son come home this weekend, so I don't have need for all that extra. But anyway, so a couple things that I do want to say to you is this, as you're getting dizzy looking at my house, is that it's important that you have open space in your fridge. You need to be able to see. The last thing you want to feel like when you open your fridge is like everything's falling in on you. You want to see what's in there. When I look in there, if I have prepped up onion, potatoes, carrots, things like that, then I know, oh, I have this. It helps me to decide what I'm going to make for supper, because if I'm in a hurry or if I'm not, just depending on things. And I did want to show you real quick my freezer. Kind of what I do down here. Ice, obviously. I tend to do my veggies down here. So we do a lot of berry smoothies, but broccoli, Brussels sprouts, kale, spinach. This is actually a butternut squash I recently cubed up. Fish, chicken, that type of thing. So that's what it looks like. And again, I try to not have too much in there because I have a deep freezer that I rotate stuff out of, but I think it's really important that when you open your refrigerator that you don't look like you're not like playing mystery match, like what's in that container, what's in that container. That is why I'm a huge fan of the glass in the Cool and Serve containers, because I can look in there very easily and know exactly what's in there. So anyway, I hope this was helpful to you, and I hope you're having a great day. Thanks for joining us here.